So we talked about using points as a cash equivalent. We've also talked about having points with just one airline. Both of those are not really the best option. So here's why, just as a recap. Back in the day, you could go to South Africa on Delta 6 times for 960,000 miles. Now for 960,000 miles, you can't even go one time unless you find a good deal. So should I put all of my money with a specific airline's credit card? No. Should I save my points for retirement? That is like lighting your points on fire, likely because they continue to devalue and devalue and devalue, and you should spend them while you have them. So what should I do? Well, I would recommend that you not build tons of points with an airline currency. If you want to have a Delta card still so you can get the 15% discount, maybe you're Delta loyal, you want to have access to priority upgrades, or you get some lounge benefits, things like that, no problem. If you want to have an American card to build some American miles because they frequently have good deals, no problem. But I wouldn't put all of your eggs in that basket, because eventually, just like what happened with Delta, an airline can do something really random and you're at a lot of risk if they do that. So if you have one of these cards, or their partner cards, they will transfer to many different airlines. American Express cards with membership rewards transfer to Delta and a lot of other airlines. Bilt Rewards, Alaska, and a lot of airlines. Chase, United, and a lot of airlines. Capital One transfers to Air Canada and a lot of other airlines that are all listed here. And we'll go through them one by one. I've bolded some of the ones that I really, really like. American Express transfers to Air Canada. They transfer to ANA. That's personal favorite. It's the plane that I have right behind me. And Delta SkyMiles as well. So you're not saying goodbye to Delta necessarily. You're just, instead of spending $100,000 on whatever you need for your business and getting Delta SkyMiles in return, you're putting $100,000 on your American Express membership rewards card, and you're getting 100,000 miles that you can use for Delta. But if Delta decides to further devalue their currency and now they're really, really worthless, you're not locked into Delta. Bilt Rewards goes to Alaska Airlines. I've never had a Bilt Rewards card before, but I think there is some value here, particularly because Alaska is a great partner and it's not used with any of the other transferable currencies. They do shift from time to time, so you'll see like Bilt Rewards used to transfer to American Airlines. So did Citi Thank You Rewards, and unfortunately neither of them do anymore because American's really a great program for the time being. They also transfer to Turkish. They transfer to Air Canada as well. Air Canada is good with all of them. Emirates, and I think British Airways also goes with each individual one. Bilt also goes to World of Hyatt. I've talked about that before, and we'll talk about it again. Chase, that doesn't have as many partners, but I use my Chase cards primarily to transfer to World of Hyatt. I will top up United miles. Sometimes United has good deals, and I need just a few thousand United miles, and so I'm like, okay, let me just transfer to United. So it's helpful to have a Chase card, but they don't have quite as many transfer partners as the other ones. And then Capital One miles, they also transfer to Aeroplan, they transfer to British Airways, and Turkish. I'll talk more about Turkish when we get to the flights portion of this course, but I want to give you a good idea of how to use points so that as we're going through the course, you have a framework for like, oh, this is why this is a good deal. This is why this is a terrible deal. And then you can make decisions on your own as you go. So my dad, back in 2015, I want to have a million Sky Miles saved when I retired. Now he wants to have transferable currencies / points available to use when the return is 1.7 cents per point or more. That's my dream for you as well. Let's say that there's a hypothetical situation that happens in 2035. I'm sorry that I cut your head off in this video. Let's say that Delta in 10 years from now, they 6x their prices again. You built up a million frequent flyer miles. You were so excited to go to South Africa just one time, and then they 6x their price. Well, in the case that you had all the Delta Sky Miles built up, you're really worried because you're like, oh, these are totally worthless. But if you have them with Amex or with Chase or with Capital One or with Citi, you're not worried because you can transfer them to other airlines that do still have good deals available, and then your eggs are not all in that specific basket. So, in summary, the 3 ways to build and use points. Cash equivalent. Don't do this. Pretty much. Airline currencies. You can have them. I just wouldn't build a big stock of them because of the risk. Transferable currencies, absolutely the best. And this is where I have focused my points attention for the last 7 years or so, and it has made a big difference.